A shocking death of a woman in her 7th month of pregnancy. Why did a future mother end up in a noose? And who is behind her tragic death? Don't miss it. The spirit of the deceased will reveal the truth. This is Psychic Investigations, a show of real and astonishing stories. Here, people who call themselves clairvoyants investigate sensational criminal cases and incredible supernatural phenomena. On March 8th, a small village in Ukraine was shaken by horrifying news. In a rented house, the lifeless body of a young mother-to-be, Yulia Lapko, was found. She was only 24, 7 months pregnant.
It was here in this building, at 10 p.m., that local resident Yulia Lapko was found dead. When members of the investigation team arrived at the scene, they confirmed her death from mechanical asphyxiation that was caused by hanging.
This beautiful young woman was a housewife. Her little daughter, Angelina, is now a half-orphan. She's 6 years old and lives with her father. No one can believe Yulia would take her own life. For her mother, it's too painful to even look at her photographs.
I never take Yulia's photo out. I can't look at it. I feel so sorry for the child. I never look.
Halina and her husband, Leonid, had 3 children, daughters Natalia and Yulia, and a son, Denis. All of them already had their own families. Their house was always filled with children's laughter. It seemed like a big, happy family. No one could have imagined that such a terrible tragedy would strike them on a spring holiday.
I miss her so much. It's hard even to remember. I keep hoping she'll appear in a dream, but she never does. Maybe then she'd tell me what really happened.
That morning, Yulia's husband left the house saying he had a business meeting. In the evening, he stopped by to wish his mother a happy Women's Day. At home, his wife and daughter were waiting for him. He returned around 10 p.m.
The man said that when he walked into the house, he saw his 4-year-old daughter crying in the hallway.
According to Yulia's husband, when he entered the room, he froze in horror. His wife, 7 months pregnant, was hanging in a noose.
As we learned, Serhiy Lapko told investigators that he found his wife hanging in the hallway of their home with a necktie. One end of the tie was tied to a gas pipe, located just below the ceiling at a height of about 2 meters 10 centimeters. And the other end of the tie had formed a loop in which he found his wife hanged.
It was March 8th, in the evening. My wife and I were lying down watching TV. At 10 o'clock, we got a call saying that Yulia was no longer alive. We didn't believe it. We thought she was alive.
There was still a lot of snow, and we ran. My husband was dragging me. I just couldn't walk anymore. When we got there, Yulia was lying on the couch.
According to the official police version, Yulia Lapko took her own life.
I don't believe my sister could do something like that while 7 months pregnant. I want to know how it all really happened.
According to Yulia's mother, about an hour before she was told about her daughter's death, they spoke on the phone. They called each other at 9 p.m. The mother says her daughter was in a good mood.
At 9 o'clock, I hear the TV on and Angelina laughing really hard. I say, "God, why are you laughing so much?" And Yulia laughs too. I said, "Girl, why are you laughing so hard?" And she said, "Mom, she found some lipstick and put it on. I don't even know how I'll wash it off." Those were her last words.
The family is sure Yulia was murdered, but who and why? The only witness to the tragedy, little Angelina, says she was in another room watching TV and heard nothing. When the child saw her mother hanging, she began to stutter. The girl is still in therapy.
Yulia could never have just left like that. She lived for Angelina, breathed for her. She was waiting for this baby, those tiny baby clothes, She already ironed them and washed them. She even thought about what kind of a stroller to buy.
Relatives say that at 7 months pregnant, Yulia's belly was already quite big. It was even hard for her to move. The gas pipe where she was found hanging is 2 meters above the floor, while Yulia was 165 meters tall. How could she have tied the tie around that pipe and then hanged herself? Relatives also say they saw bruises on her body.
The autopsy showed bruises on her legs.
The bruises on the legs could theoretically have appeared because the possible killer held Yulia Lapko while putting the noose around her neck. Additionally, they might have been caused by the dying woman hitting hard objects, the wall, the bed's corner, or the radiator.
The family still can't believe that Yulia, a young mother 7 months pregnant, could have taken her own life almost in front of her 4-year-old daughter. They are convinced someone sneaked into the house and hanged her. But who was it? And why kill a pregnant woman? To understand what happened and why Yulia ended up in the noose, her mother, Halina Markova, turned to clairvoyance. The project's experts, Hayal Alekperov and Hala Polishchuk, took on the investigation.
I'm looking at the girl's photo and feel fear. She suffered terribly before her death. I see a man. He's grabbing her hair like this, and I hear his voice saying something like, "I'll hang you, I will." Who is this man? Did he just kill and hang a pregnant woman like that? It's a nightmare.
Indeed, Yulia Lapko's relatives noticed bruises and scratches on her body. This gave them the impression that the deceased was beaten before she died.
Her wrists were very red and squeezed as if someone was holding them tightly.
I saw bruises on her knuckles. Like this. On one hand, I think she was already tearing at that tie. She resisted.
Is it true that Yulia was murdered, but who and why first beat and then hanged a pregnant woman?
A terrifying vision. Nighttime, the moon is shining. I see a cemetery, and 2 young girls are walking there. Suddenly, they start running, as if fleeing something. Did they take something from the cemetery? Someone is chasing them. It's a horror, a spirit. It looks like a wolf on all 4s but wearing armor. It's running after the girls to kill them. The wolf grabs one of them and drags her underground.
What strange visions does the clairvoyant see? Which women at the cemetery is he talking about? And most importantly, how does all this relate to Yulia's death? To understand these strange visions, the clairvoyants traveled to the village where Yulia lived. Her mother, Halina Markova, is already waiting for them.
Hello.
Salam.
You invited us, so we came?
The deceased's husband, Serhiy Lapko, refused to meet the clairvoyants. They say he is still struggling with the loss.
It will soon be 2 years since my daughter died. The police and the prosecutor's office say she hanged herself, but I don't believe it. She was 7 months pregnant, and I don't think she could have done that. She left behind a little girl. I can't believe she would do such a thing. Please help.
Mama, we will figure it out now. Maybe we should go to the yard.
Can we go inside? There's something there.
Please come in.
Hello. Leonid?
As it turns out, at home, besides Halina, are also Yulia's father, Leonid, and her sister, Natalia. Their brother, Denis, works in construction in Kiev. Unfortunately, he couldn't get time off work, so he isn't with the family today.
This headpiece. Strangely, it carries the energy of death. Does it belong to your sister?
No,
The headband Kayal holds belongs to Natalia. But why does the clairvoyant sense death's energy? Could the second daughter of Halina and Leonid also be in danger?
I clearly see earth, a grave. But how can you be alive and watching me now? I understand. You and your sister share the same energy. Are you twins? The girl died, but her bond with her sister remains unbroken.
Indeed, Natalia and Yulia were inseparable.
We were always together. Never did she go one way and I another. We went everywhere together. I remember once at school, I recited a poem for both of us. First for myself with a bad grade, then for Yulia with a good one. Nobody could tell us apart in the neighborhood.
The sisters even shared pain. When one felt bad, the other did too.
She went to the dentist, and I had a toothache too. My whole jaw was hurting.
Natalia is now 26, married with 3 kids. The eldest girl is 5, the middle one 3, and the youngest boy is just 3 months.
We always went out with our kids together, to the park and everywhere. Losing her felt like losing a piece of my heart. Words can't describe it.
Who caused this tragedy? Why was Yulia's life taken just 2 months before giving birth? The ultrasound showed it was a boy.
We already loved that little boy. I can't live with this pain. We were so looking forward to him. We had chosen a name, folded his swaddling blankets, and ironed baby clothes.
With your permission, I'll perform a ritual to connect with Yulia. During the ritual, I heard a faint whisper. It was Yulia's spirit. She was saying something like, "Killed, he killed, they killed." Then I realized she was trying to reveal her final moments, trying to say that someone was involved in her death. But who? Before she died, Yulia was anxious about some money, a big amount. She received it shortly before her death. Did you sell something? Did you give your daughter that money?
I had an apartment with a modern renovation. Everything was there. I quickly sold the apartment and gave each of my children $5,000. $5,000 to my son, $5,000 to Yulia, and $5,000 to Natalia.
Helena inherited the apartment from her parents. The whole family had lived there, but when the children grew up and started their own families, the place was too big for just the 2 of them, so she sold it and split the money between her children. But how does this relate to Yulia's death?
She kept talking about money.
Yulia received her share of the apartment money and didn't hide the fact that she had a large amount, especially for a village. The average salary there is about 1,000 hryvnias, so $5,000 is a serious sum. You could buy a small house for that sum in this village.
I feel that Yulia was murdered. But who, why, and when? I don't know yet.
I see her arms being twisted like this. Someone grabbing and squeezing them really hard. And here, something wrapping slowly around her neck. Slowly, like a snake. I see a snake. But I don't understand why it's striped. And it's squeezing her arms like this. It's like a snake is strangling the girl. I'm being shown a soft fabric. It had stripes.
Indeed, Yulia Lapko was found hanged with her husband's black striped tie.
I'm certain your daughter was murdered. But it's a very strange murder. I don't understand. And again, I see money. Hala, could she have been killed because of the money?
That thought is chilling. Could someone really have killed a young woman, 7 months pregnant, right in front of her 4-year-old child, for money?
The family claims that nothing was missing from the house where Yulia lived and where she was found dead. There were no signs of a break-in or struggle either.
Wait a moment. I'm not seeing the money in your daughter's hands. It feels like it was somewhere else.
Yulia's mother said her daughter kept the money in the bank. They and her husband were saving to buy a big house. They postponed the purchase until after their son's birth. If we assume that a thief wanted to steal the money, then first, they would have had to find out where it was kept. And second, no thief would walk away from a crime scene without grabbing at least something valuable. Moreover, thieves usually don't kill. They carefully stake out a place and come when no one is home.
But if Yulia wasn't killed over money, then who committed this inhuman crime and why?
the person involved in her death. It feels like they tortured her before she died. But not physically, mentally. I get the sense that someone had been watching her.
Could someone really have been following Yulia? Maybe even threatening her? But why didn't she tell her husband or family?
She says, "Mommy, forgive me, I couldn't do it. I don't know what it is she couldn't do. She wanted to do something for you.
I don't know.
Maybe she was planning a surprise for you." She says, "Mommy, I couldn't do it."
My birthday is on March 9th. She promised me she would come. "Mom, I'll help with everything," she said. She promised. I was so worried I wouldn't manage on my own. I had to go to work. I called her and said, "My girl, I probably won't make it in time." And she said, "Mom, don't worry. I'll come and help you with everything. You know me, I'll help you with everything. I will set the table. The guests will. My sister and brother were coming to me. Everyone from the family."
It's simply horrifying. The next day, March 9th, Halina was supposed to celebrate her 47th birthday. Instead, she was preparing for the funeral of her daughter and unborn grandson.
Neither March 8th nor my birthday exist for me anymore. I don't celebrate. Every day, whenever I have a free second, I think about her. I think about the child, from the moment I wake up till the moment I go to bed.
This pain will never go away. It will stay with us for the rest of our lives. Especially when I visit the cemetery, my knees buckle. I can't believe she's gone. For parents to bury their children is very hard.
I was shown a vision. Yulia is standing, and you are standing behind her. Then I see something like needles or nails, some sort of magic, and she's telling me right now, it wasn't right. What we did wasn't right. What did you do together with her that was wrong?
It seems that Natalia doesn't understand what this is about. Or maybe she's hiding something. What needles, nails, and magic the clairvoyant is talking about? And how does it relate to Yulia's death?
May I take this shirt?
It turns out Kayal was drawn to this item for a reason. Yulia wore it on the day she died. A gift from her twin sister.
When I was pregnant with my daughter Camila, I bought myself this beautiful tunic. I gave it to her. That's the one she was wearing.
Natalia never imagined that a year later, her sister would die wearing that same gray tunic.
When I touch this item, I again get the image of a strange entity in the form of a wolf. I saw it before, while working with the photo of your daughter. The wolf seems to be pulling Yulia into the ground, just dragging her down. I still don't understand what it means. Wait, her spirit seems not to have passed into the afterlife. Natalia, your sister often comes to you in dreams, right?
As it turns out, Yulia still appears in Natalia's dreams almost every day. And worst of all, she's calling her to join her.
I'm very scared. Natalia keeps having bad dreams. Every single day, she cries and says, "Mom, I'm afraid to go to sleep. I'm afraid to close my eyes. I'm scared to shut my eyes because I know she'll come to me in my dream again tonight."
It's no coincidence I felt cemetery energy when I held Natalia's ring. You see, twins often share one energy. This happens a lot. One twin tries to pull the other into the other side. So Natalia could very well be in danger.
The spirit can't leave. She's trapped somewhere. It feels like she's not on Earth, not with God, and not in hell. She's in some kind of space, do you understand? She's reaching out to you, asking, either pull me out or come with me.
This is an absolute nightmare. Could Halina really lose another daughter, taken to the other side by her dead twin? But who killed Yulia and her unborn baby?
Now I'm seeing a completely different house, several rooms, and in one of them, oh God, your daughter is lying there, dead. She was found somewhere else.
We need to go there.
That's where a house was bought. Right after Yulia's death. A woman sold the house.
We need to go there.
We'll call the owner and get the key.
The clairvoyants, along with the parents and sister of the deceased, head to the house where Yulia was found hanged on March 8th. Helena called the homeowner. Fortunately, the woman is now in the village and agreed to the mother's request to open the door.
Hello? Can you open the door for us?
Yes, of course.
On March 8th, we came here and saw my Yulia lying on the couch. I've cried all my tears already.
Today, Yulia's relatives are coming to this house for the first time since the tragedy, and now they're hesitant to go inside.
I understand how hard this is for you, but let's go in. We need to find out who took your daughter's life.
Yes.
Yulia and her husband, Serhii, rented this house shortly before her death, but they lived here for only 4 days.
We rented this place for our Yulia. On what day was it?
The 4th.
It was the 4th of March, and by the 8th, she was gone. Just 4 days here. She didn't even have time to unpack her things.
Hala, if it's okay, I'd like to go work alone in the other rooms. The energy here is very strange. I felt like Yulia was somewhere nearby, as if she were still alive. It was as if she were knocking on the window, asking to be let in. But how could that be? I had to check my intuition.
Sit down. Sit down. I can sense your state. How weak you are. What I see is a love so deep that it feels almost sacrificial, like she was ready to give up everything for him. He must have been quite a striking man. It feels like she even loved him in secret for a while.
And that's exactly how it was. Yulia fell for a boy who lived next door. She was 13. He was 16. She didn't know how to confess her feelings, so she kept them hidden for a long time.
She really loved him. She loved him even back when we were just kids. She had fallen for him. Then he started chasing after her, showing interest, courting her, and soon after, Serhii came along. They got married and began living together.
A few months after the wedding, Yulia and Serhii found out they were expecting. That's when was born. 3 years later, Yulia became pregnant again. But sadly, Serhii never got to meet their second child. So who's responsible? Who wanted this beautiful young woman gone?
Hala. In this room, the energy of death and fear.
I feel it. I see it. Oh.
Don't be afraid, hold on.
Oh my God.
What's happening? Why did the clairvoyant feel unwell? What did she see or sense?
The moment I approached the mirror, it felt like something magnetic was pulling my hand toward it. It was as if my hand was entering another space, like it was pulling me in. I instinctively did it. I pushed the mirror away, like I was pushing back from that space. And in that moment, I got such a shock. The sensations were overwhelming. Fear, horror, from the feeling that I was about to be dragged inside and wouldn't be able to come back.
Please get her some water.
Wait. Stop. Kayal, do you see? It's pulling me here into that mirror.
Yes, there's something inside that mirror.
Unbelievable. What's going on? Why did this mirror trigger such a reaction? It had been bought from a store 6 months before the young couple moved into the house. But how does any of this connect to Yulia's death?
I saw an image of Yulia. She had somehow crossed into that mirror world. And she was there. She was reaching out, asking for help. I saw her eyes through the mirror, you understand? It felt like, in her final moments, she was looking into it, and it's as if her soul actually went into the mirror.
Yulia was found hanging right here, wasn't she?
Yes.
She was hanging facing the mirror with her arms like this. And for some reason, I feel like more than one person was involved in her death. Multiple people. And her husband was one of them.
That's absolutely chilling. Could Yulia's own husband have played a role in her death? What could have happened between them for him to murder his pregnant wife? And on the 8th of March, International Women's Day,
He was still asleep. She got up and was doing something. Then he got up, started getting dressed. He had a meeting or was getting ready. She asked, "Where are you going?" He didn't answer.
Before he left, he told her that when he came back, he would deal with her.
what the clairvoyants are saying is almost impossible to grasp. What could have happened between Yulia and Serhiy to drive him to murder, especially when, on the surface, their family seemed perfectly fine?
Tell me, where is her husband living now?
Not far from here.
We need to meet with him. Can we call him and arrange a meeting?
I'm not sure he'll agree, but we can try.
Let's try to talk to him. Natalia, go ahead and call Serhiy,
I'll dial him now.
because we can't make conclusions just based on what we've seen.
His phone's off. He turned it off on purpose.
Maybe we can call his mother? Hello?
Hello.
Good afternoon, Olha. My name is Hala. I'm a clairvoyant. I'm here with Kayal. We came to help you understand what really happened.
You understand? This is very hard for me. Very hard.
Where can we meet?
I can come to the park in half an hour.
In half an hour at the park? All right.
By the Shevchenko Monument.
By the Shevchenko Monument in half an hour. Okay. See you soon. Kayal, I think we should go to the park.
Of course, let's go quickly.
The clairvoyants head to the park. Perhaps even Serhiy's mother doesn't know who her son really is. Could he be a tyrant who murdered his pregnant wife in front of their child?
Olha. Hello, my name is Hala. We came to look into this. We're sensing something from your son, but we can't fully understand it. That's why we asked to meet.
What can I say? He's not a killer. How could he kill her, hang her, and just leave when the child was there?
So Serhiy's mother promptly understood why the clairvoyants wanted to meet her. Most people in the village believe her son is responsible for Yulia's death. Her relatives are convinced he's the one who hanged her.
It was only him. There's no doubt. They should have asked right away properly, and Helena would have told them everything.
We tried to talk to Angelina. We went to the home where Serhiy now lives with the child, but the man simply shut the door without saying a single word. So maybe people's suspicions aren't baseless? Could this woman's son have hanged his pregnant wife with his own hands while their 4-year-old daughter was inside? But why?
Where is your son now?
At home?
Does he know you met with us?
No.
Why didn't you tell him?
I didn't tell him because he didn't want it. I don't know. He just doesn't want to. But I do want to talk. Because when the police came, when the ambulance arrived, they even said to him, "Why are you trying to give her mouth to mouth? What are you doing?" I was at work. I came home that evening when they already told me to bring my child. My son didn't do it. He would never do it. How could he kill her in front of his own daughter? Kill her, hang her, and walk away? He would never something like that. I know one thing. He didn't kill her.
So what really happened? Any mother will defend her son. But did this husband really murder his pregnant wife?
I don't see the hands doing it. Not his hands.
The husband didn't do this. I'm seeing now. He couldn't even get inside the house.
When he returned home around 10 in the evening, the door was bolted from the inside. He had forgotten his keys at home. He knocked on the windows and doors, but there was no response. Then he heard the child crying. Fearing something had happened to his wife, she was 7 months pregnant, he broke down the door to get in.
So, was Yulia's husband not involved after all? But then, who was responsible for her death?
I keep feeling there were several people involved in Yulia's death, including her husband.
What does the clairvoyant mean? Who are these people? And was her husband truly involved?
On that day, March 8th, Yulia felt unwell. She called her mother, her sister. She wanted to share something important, but no one really heard her. Her sister didn't think much of it, and she didn't want to worry her mother, so she just told her everything was fine.
But what was going on with Yulia that left this pregnant woman so distressed? Was she trying to warn her family about something? And what exactly did she want to say? And how is it connected to her death?
Tell me, did your son speak with you on March 8th? Did he say where he went?
He wished me a happy Women's Day, and I told him, "Son, go home. Tomorrow I'll come over and wish Yulia a happy Women's Day too." And that's that.
Well, essentially, a man who has a family, a wife, should be with his beloved on March 8th. But he went off somewhere. It's strange that a pregnant woman was left alone at home on a holiday when wives are usually being celebrated. What's more, he didn't even say a single word of congratulations to her, let alone give her flowers.
I get the feeling that you already suspected something was wrong with your son.
Something was wrong with him. They started going to fortune tellers a lot, visiting cemeteries, pulling nails out of crosses.
Unbelievable! The clairvoyants had already said they saw twin sisters at the cemetery, but Natalia acted like she had no idea what they were talking about. If Olha is telling the truth, why were the women going to the cemetery?
You don't even know why we went there.
So Serhiy would stop drinking, and so would Andriy.
As it turned out, Natalia's husband, Andriy, had started drinking. She told her sister, who then shared that her own husband, Serhiy, also drank occasionally. To solve the issue, the twins sought help from a local folk healer.
She said she saw needles and a nail and told us something had been done to Serhiy, Yulia's husband. She said we needed to get a nail from a cemetery, from a bench or anywhere, and hammer it into the threshold at home, supposedly to keep out evil forces. So we went to the cemetery and pulled out that nail.
Each of the sisters took 2 nails, brought them home, and hammered them into the threshold. Both believed this would stop their husbands from drinking.
More and more often, I encounter situations where people, not understanding anything about magic, still turn to it. But what was recommended to the sisters had nothing to do with curing their husbands of alcoholism. The ritual was completely absurd and brought nothing good.
It's terrible, like bringing death into the house.
That's when I understood the vision I had while working with Yulia's photo. I saw a terrifying wolf chasing 2 girls, dragging one of them underground. Those girls were Natalia and Yulia. By removing the nails from the cemetery, they angered the cemetery's guardian. It was him I saw in the form of the wolf.
Every cemetery has a guardian. And of course, he begins to pursue anyone who takes something from it.
The cemetery's guardian dragged Yulia to the other side. But the most horrifying thing is now he's hunting Natalia.
Horrifying. Could Natalia, like her twin sister, be doomed to die? But what really happened to Yulia? Who are the people Khayal Alekperov saw in his visions? How are they connected to her death? And what about her husband?
Before her husband left the house that morning, there was some sort of argument between him and Yulia. More than that, I see him pushing her. You know, like, get off me.
It seems Yulia's family either doesn't know about this or doesn't want to talk about it.
Well, in my presence, nothing like that ever happened. I didn't take part in their arguments.
We managed to speak with Yulia's acquaintance. The woman didn't want to show her face, but she said that Yulia had called her on the last day of her life, upset, saying her husband had left and hadn't returned for a long time.
She'd made dinner, lit candles, the whole thing. She was sitting there with the little one and waiting. Then she called him and said Serhiy, where are you? He said, I'll be back soon, but started being rude to her.
It's hard to imagine what the pregnant woman felt on a holiday. Her husband hadn't congratulated her, had left somewhere, and she was alone at home with their 4-year-old child.
He was texting some girl, and I guess he hadn't logged out or something. Yulia saw it. She said, "Serhii, what's this?" And he just snapped, told her to get lost. It was harsh.
I had a feeling that this wasn't the first time Serhii had raised a hand against Yulia. But she stayed silent. She kept her pain to herself.
She had bruises. I don't think she told her mom, Helena, everything. Maybe she said something to Natalia, but she mostly kept it all inside.
So was the happiness that seemed to exist in Serhii and Yulia's family just an illusion? Was the reality far more complicated?
Yulia also called me. She complained that Serhii had sent messages and even called another woman in front of her to wish her a happy March 8th. But he didn't congratulate Yulia or Angelina.
Olha, just think. It's March 8th. She's alone with a child, in a worn-out top, swallowing her tears, pregnant. Can you imagine that state?
Yes, I can. She called both her mother and Natalia. Her mother was out celebrating. They all saw her tears perfectly well, but all she heard was, "You'll have a fight. Cool down, and it'll pass."
She never said that.
That's when I understood. No one physically killed Yulia. But Hala and I weren't wrong. She was killed. Killed by indifference, misunderstanding, and the conditions she faced. Sadly, she took her own life. That's why she sent her daughter to the other room so she wouldn't see anything. Then locked the door, so no one could stop her.
Most likely, at 7 months pregnant, the woman couldn't cope with the emotional pain caused by her husband's behavior. That could have driven her to make this tragic decision to end her own life.
But how could Yulia, who was 165 centimeters tall, have reached a gas pipe 2 meters off the floor, where she was found hanging?
She could have reached the pipe by leaning on the armrest of the sofa and standing on her tiptoes. Moreover, women in the later stages of pregnancy often experience intense emotional instability, which can make them more prone to irrational decisions and impulsive actions.
Could it be that, out of resentment toward her husband, Yulia hanged herself using his wedding tie?
Give me a little sniff of ammonia.
Call the ambulance quickly.
My heart.
Give her a heart pill.
She was just given one.
Oh Lord, give me strength.
Calm down. Calm down, Helena.
Within minutes, the medics arrived.
Did she take anything?
I'm feeling faint. My legs. I can't feel my legs.
Let's get her to the ambulance.
For almost half an hour, doctors examined Helena. Her condition remains uncertain. Will she be able to cope with the truth revealed by the clairvoyance?
But now death threatens the deceased sister, Natalia. Because of that ritual at the cemetery, she too may soon cross over to the other side.
I suggested hospitalization, but she refused. Hospitalization would at least keep her under supervision.
I don't want to go to the hospital. I just want to hear the truth.
If she doesn't want to stay and wants to go home, then someone needs to stay with her.
Fortunately, near the park where the clairvoyants are now, Helena's sister, Irina, works as a shop assistant at a local store. Hearing about the arrival of the psychics, she dropped everything and came to support her sister.
She might get too nervous again, and it could happen once more.
Helena is taken home. Her condition remains critical. Her sister promised to keep our film crew updated by phone.
Yulia didn't just suffer emotionally because of the circumstances she faced. It was as if someone planted the idea that there was no way out. It's because that cemetery guardian and the strange wolf-like spirit I saw at the start of the investigation hunted Yulia, and now they are after you, Natalia. You need saving. Moreover, Yulia's soul is trapped in the mirror in front of which she died. It also needs to be freed. Let's go to the house and perform a ritual to save your family.
Will you come with us?
Of course I'll go.
Thank you very much. We've been waiting for you for a long time. I personally needed to know the truth.
Thank you for coming. You've helped open our eyes so those dark thoughts don't take over.
Well, Kayal, I think our work here is done. Goodbye. As we were leaving, Halina wasn't with us, so we decided to stop by her place, just to offer her a bit more support.
Are you feeling better?
Better, of course. Much better.
Halina, no matter how painful the truth is, Yulia's husband is not to blame. She did this herself, but it didn't happen without reason. She was left alone with her pain and sorrow.
She suffered so much, she really did. I know. We felt deeply for her. We did everything we could. Her father and I. All of us.
Sometimes warmth is missing. We do many things for our children, but sometimes they just need to cry in Simone's arms, to open up, and she was afraid to.
She was afraid. I was a bit too strict. I loved her so much. More than words, but I never told her that.
It's time for us to go, Hala.